So last week, I went all the way down to Pittsburgh in my old truck, 1996 Dodge Ram. And I picked up this giant mixing board. And yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm crazy. As to why, because I can. Now it was in a great big old box, you know. And that big old box weighed about over 200 pounds. So when I took the lid off of it, I had to use my tractor. And y'all got a kick out of that. But I unboxed it and I managed to get it in here in the studio. We're almost there. Almost to the promised land. I built a little desk for it. It's built like a deck. I mean, this thing I said, you know, that'd probably hold 20,000 pounds. But it's only got to hold about, 420 or so. So my 420 pound desk is in place now. I promised an update. I don't want to get too far into the weeds with technical details on this today. I just wanted to let you know everybody's okay. No old men or old trucks were harmed in bringing this board back from Pittsburgh. We got it back and in the studio safe and sound, and my back's still as good as it was before. Not 100%, but as good as it was before I started that project. And I got it pretty well wired. I'd say I'm 80% there. I mean, it's functional. And I haven't pushed a single button on this that hasn't done what I wanted it to do. And I think that's just amazing for a 1980 something mixing board. But she's working perfect for me. I plan just to leave it alone for the summer. Maybe next winter when I have a little more time. By the way, I have a full-time job. But I plan to tear into this thing more. I did tear it apart, clean everything as best I could, and the power supply, I got one of them all cleaned out and in use. Next winter I'll go deeper and I'll run some test tones through it, and I'll go through this board, each channel, and check the phase and the gain structure, make sure everything's working perfect. I might do some recapping, who knows, we'll see. But I got her in here. She's ready to go. She's wired up. I got my rack all built over here. I'll show you the rack. Yeah, I got this rack all built. And it went pretty good for me. I left the 500 series on top. Right now, this is the best place I could put it because of my wiring. I've got wires, you know, to run it. A lot of Mogami cable. And I didn't want to go buy new. So there's the rack I got built. I'll show you some pictures of me building it. Stopped at 84 Lumber on the way home. Got some 1x6s. Everybody got suggestions on racks. Well, I gotta build it because I'm cheap and I'm poor. I left my interfaces down here so it's shorter distance for the wires, and that's better for sound anyway. So I got my Motu 16A down here and my 896 over here, and I've got all 24 channels working fine and go via ADAT. Now I can only go up to 48K to get all those channels. I like 96, but I'm doing 48 for mixing. I mean, I'm not doing a lot in the box. Right now I'm pretty much using the computer as a tape recorder until I can afford myself a 2-inch tape recorder. Hell yeah! Well, I might have to settle for a 1/2-inch 16 track or something, but we'll see what I can come up with. Yeah, analog's the only way to go. If you have any doubts in your mind, well, I'm not going down this road, but it's the only way to go for me. You know, now, why? Okay, this is a paintbrush. That's a paintbrush over here, and the rack is all my colors. That's how this works. The other question I got was, why do you need so many channels? I mean, holy crap. Why in the world does Studio Hermit Ed need 64 channels? 64, count them. Okay, when a band comes in, they play through that glass right there, and I've got glass over here. Can you see the other window? So the band plays the music for me. and I gotta record it. Now, these are my tracking channels. I'm using 24 to give you an idea. Just the drums, between 10 and 12 microphones. That's 12 channels right there. Now you throw in 3 guitar players. I've had 3 at a time. I might want to run a direct channel, a microphone on the amp back in my amp room. That's 2 channels. Okay, same with the bass, 2 channels. At least, maybe they got a pedal board and I'll separate that out. I'll run the pedals in so you can see how you can use 24. I like to have all 32 of those channels tracking at one time. Maybe someday, that's a dream of mine. So over here on the left side of the board, this is for mixing. In the box, I'll mix down my kick, all my kicks. I could have as many as 3 kick mics. So we got kick, snare, toms. Now the snare will have at least 1 microphone, maybe 2. The gospel band playing with brushes, I got to put a microphone underneath. I don't usually use it, but if I want to catch them little rattles going on down there, I got to put a microphone under as well as on top. So you can see, I mean, 24 channels, you can use up a lot of channels. So, I mean, do I need all these channels? Hell yeah! This is all set up to track, and this side over here, this is all set up to mix, and everything comes to here. And like I say, I can send anything to over here, to my compressors, to my stereo bus, my 500 series, just with the push of a button, and the sound, whatever it is, can go out of here into one of these guys, and then come back in and be mixed in the mix, okay? So that's why I need such a big mixing board. I hope I answered some of your questions. The power supplies are going to be a nightmare. I know that. I have 2 of them. One's actually in I have a shop. It's a soldering room right on the other side of that door. It's also where I keep the amplifiers. When a band comes in, I have an isolation room back there where they can put all their amplifiers and we can record them. So here's my power supply down here. And now a lot of things come to play with power supplies. First of all, I got to keep this room cold, okay? There's the air conditioner. And what I'll do is I'll get this room down. I like it to be about 60, 62 degrees in this room. It's well insulated. I'll run the air conditioner, keep this room real cold. When a band comes in while we're making it, they'll practice for a while. And then while I'm doing a take, I'll turn it off. And it'll go up, 65, 70 degrees in here now I haven't recorded a band yet with this particular power supply, but we'll see how it goes. And so I keep the room cold. Still have my CQ20B down there. And so if I want to go digital, I got it right there. So that's my power supply room. And I keep that cold. I need to change the fans in those power supplies. They're a little bit loud. But like I said, I've got 2 of them. So I'm working on one. I'll tear it all apart. And I'm going to ohm out everything and make sure we're doing good. But no big deal. So I pretty much got the power supply situation, I hope, under control. I don't want to buy another one of them for this thing because that would cost more than the whole trip. Now my wife says I talk too fast in these videos. It's because I'm excited. I'm excited about this stuff, And this has been a lifelong dream of mine. I've always had a small recording studio, and it's just awesome to me to be able to do this. And if all I do through all these videos is just inspire one of you to go analog, buy yourself a big old board. If you got the room, man, I'll tell you what. Wow. Yeah, check this out, huh? Yeah, it gives the fella a good feeling to come in here in the morning and see this. Now, I do still work full time, okay? I work for the Army. It's a long story, but I'm a maintenance guy. I take care of buildings. When alarms go off, I'm the one they call to go in there and find out why before anybody can go in the building, okay? That's my job. I'm a maintenance guy. I know I'm a little bit scatterbrained sometimes, but it's quite a journey, and wait till we get bands in here. I hope I answered some of your questions in this video. Oh, the other thing I get asked a lot about is my soffit speakers. They're not really, it's not really a soffit. Now, what these speakers are, let me show you. Okay, that's a 15 and a horn. This box right here, that is a bass trap, and that is a bass trap over there. The soffits, it started out as just a bass trap, okay? And then I had a lot of people coming in here wanting me to make tracks for them to sing in church. And a lot of clubs, you know, use backing tracks. In most of the clubs around here, they'll stick up a 15 and a horn, okay? And maybe a sub cabinet, which I do have a sub too. It's not in here right now. Always mono in the clubs. Sometimes they'll run them stereo, believe it or not. Depends on how wide the room is, but okay. So the 15 and a horn, I need it in here just to hear what the track's gonna sound like when they put it through the church speakers, okay? Or through the club speakers when a band's doing backing tracks. So that's what the 15 and a horn, I don't mix on a 15 and a horn. I mix on those JBLs right there most of the time. And actually, I'll tell you a little secret. I'm gonna show you something here, my secret weapon, okay? When I get a mix done, I don't have to go put it in a car. What I do is I send it to here. All right, now in my drum room, I have a desk. It's not here all the time, but see those little Logitech speakers? Those little speakers, I've been using them in here for about, 10 years. If I get it to sound right in them, usually when I come in here, I gotta roll some bass, okay? I'll listen to those little speakers right there. And if I get it to sound good there and in here on my JBLs, I got it. It doesn't matter where you put that, cell phone, in your car, it's gonna be good. So there's my little secret, them little dinky desktop speakers from Logitech. Now I wouldn't want to mix 100% on them, but you know what I mean when I'm done? That's how I check. And then I gotta come back in here usually and fix the bass frequencies. I hope you like my little update on my mixing board. I think I'm in love. Don't tell my wife, but I think she got competition. Yep. So, hey, I look forward to making a whole lot of music with this. You know, like I said, it's just a paintbrush. That's all. It's a giant paintbrush that I can make art with. Thanks for listening to my little video. I hope you liked this update. If you did, make sure and subscribe so you get future ones. We got some bands lined up, like I said. We're going to get them in here. We're going to record them with this board. See what we get. Yeah! We're almost there. Almost to the promised land.